Let's get the next speakers up. Now we've got a bit of a panel, so we're going to do the old M&M on the couch now. The next two speakers. Is Garry Jones in the house today? Where's Garry? Oh, there you are, back of the room. I couldn't see you there, champ. Well done. I know Charlotte was around. I spoke to her earlier. So next up we have two very special guests with their own unique story to share. One will share her story from humble beginnings on the Mornington Peninsula all the way to taking market leader in a regional Victorian town. She'll tell you the rest. The other tells us of his strategy around client excellence and how that amplified his career in real estate. From an airline, can I say the word hostie? From an airline hostie to an attraction agent. I love the simplicity in his story. Let's hear from them both now. Give them a warm welcome to the stage with M&M, of course, firing away the hard questions, Charlotte Broad and Garry Jones.
Hey team, how are we? Everyone's good?
Good. Oh, it is working.
Oh, it is good.
I feel like I'm back on an aircraft.
They're good mics, aren't they? Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. I'm so excited to share your stories. Obviously, we know intimately because we work with you. We know your background, and we've had a couple of Zoom calls just to discuss what we're going to be going through today. And we couldn't be more excited. You both
100%.
have got very, very different stories, and both very, very successful within your own business and life and industry. So welcome to the panel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And before we shoot over and put the whole team, because I know we might have our backs to you, we'll just go through some numbers first, and then we'll move to the live stream. So, 2006 for Garry. You've done 47, been in the field since 2006. Last year, 47 sales, 1.42 million in GCI. Volume of sales, 63 million. An average sale price of 1.35. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That is awesome. And our beautiful Charlotte Broad, been in the field since 2017, 47 sales, 475 average, 447 average sale price, 475 in GCI, 23.5 million in sales. Congratulations. Two identical numbers, different spectrums, different marketplaces. So we can move over to the live stream now. Dom? Okay, let's start. Let's start with you, Garry, and talk about the Garry Jones story, where you started from.
Funnily enough, I sat down today, and I cannot believe the lady I'm sitting next to. I started off at Jet Set Tours as the mail boy on St Kilda Road, and this lady and I have not seen each other for 32 years. How surreal is that? Yeah. Anyway, Jet Set Tours, and then I went into Compass Airlines. Fortunately, I'd used software that American airline system, so I was a supervisor at 19, supervising 60 staff in Hoddle Street for Compass Airlines. Compass Airlines went belly up, and I met a lot of flight attendants and thought, this looks pretty cool. They're rallying the streets, raising money for Compass. And they all said, you need to work in a five-star airline, a five-star hotel. So I went to the Sheraton Towers Southgate, which is now the Langham Hotel. Went through the opening of that hotel and then got into Ansett Australia. Another airline went down. Friends of mine at Qantas said, stay away. And worked for Ansett Australia. After Ansett, had a random opportunity, ended up in East Timor, managing a branch of Harvey World Travel, servicing the UN and the military. It was just by right chance, right place, right time. And then Qatar Airways in 2002 came to Australia through the Flight Attendants Association, and we're recruiting crew. I missed the opportunity. I was having a bit of a laugh in Bali, not being very serious, lived there for 4 months, and thought I'd better get a job, and came back and ended up getting an interview, and was a direct entry cabin service director for Qatar in Qatar Airways in 2002. And that evolved into a role working for the Qatar royal family on VIP jets, flying them around the world.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
That would have been an experience. Yeah.
It's a bit of fun, lots of barbecue stories.
Yes.
And obviously a certain level in customer service.
Non-negotiable. Qatar back then, the airline commercially had and he's only just recently resigned, a ruthless CEO. He was actually sort of, quite tyrannical CEO, and there was just no standards that could not be met. And as a manager on board the aircraft, we had over 80 nationalities of flight attendants, a lot of non-English speaking flight attendants, cabin crew. So teaching them service language, how to hold themselves in the premium cabins and how to talk to people. Yes, didn't exist on board an aircraft, it was certainly. Just little things like that make a little bit of a difference, just little things like that.
Yeah, can we remember that? Non-negotiables and the little things.
We're going to talk about that a bit more later. That's just, brilliant.
Yep.
Over to you. Is that right? Yeah, over to you, Charlotte. Sorry, there's a lot of us, so we're just going to...
On the couch with M&M. Just get casual. We're going to dig into some M&Ms later.
So my name's Charlotte Broad. I started my real estate career at age 19. I started as a personal assistant to an agent at the eView Mornington Peninsula office at the time, which I had the absolute pleasure of working with some very big names that are in the room today. So worked in the office with Jared Carmen, Joel Hood, Adrian Calcedo, I think he was originally speaking today. Jackson Kristen were also in that office as well. Kristen Jacks. So to say that I had a really fantastic start in real estate is an understatement, because I was around, fantastic individuals who were willing to invest their time and energy into, building into me. 4 years down the track, I met the man of my dreams and moved my real estate career from Bay to Bush, and are now predominantly in Swan Hill, Victoria, which is the flattest place that you'll ever find. So I don't know where they got the name from. So when I moved there, I was obviously not a local, didn't really know anyone, didn't know the region that I was entering into. So thankfully I started my time there at a local agency that is now probably my biggest competitor. And I found it really challenging because I was constantly finding that the office that I came from was very people-oriented, but then when I transitioned over there, money was more important than people. And I was in this constant battle of, I was finding it very challenging to work in an environment where, money was the sole focus. And it was a conversation that I had with my husband one night, and he is blunt to a T. And I said to him, I just hate going to work. I hate what I'm doing. He's like, well, just quit then. And I was like, what do you mean quit?
Sounds so simple, doesn't it?
He's like, if you hate it that much, just go do something else. Open your own real estate agency. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm a obsessive control freak. So the thought of actually going out, making that decision, having, new town, don't know anyone. Fast forward, 3 months down the track, Elliot said to me, he goes, well, what have you got to lose, really? If it's a complete flop, just go do something else. So at the age of 25, in a new town, I started my own agency, Broad Realty. Woo! Woo! Fast forward to now, I'm 27. The real estate agency has been going for 2.5 years now, and I have 4 other exceptional staff that work with me. So I have 3 full-time sales agents and 2 property managers.
And you've got market share.
And I've got market share.
A big round of applause. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Okay, over to you, Garry. Your experience in working at Qatar, let's quantify and how you applied your learnings of the non-negotiables and the 1%ers, and can you share how you did that and applied it in your real estate career? And if you wanted to go back a little bit, because you started your real estate career and you had a few changes, so if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, I kind of gave everybody my life story, but I have worked in real estate too. I worked for Place Estate Agents in Brisbane, and the First Bell Property Office in Queensland, and so forth, and also McGrath. Opened a McGrath office with some friends and colleagues, and then decided eventually it was going to be my opportunity, and I've been under our brand. My husband Mark is there. No, he's on the phone. He's gone. 4 years ago. Oh, there he is at the back. There's Mark. So I think I've been really fortunate to work under some really, really great mentors. Judy Goodger for nearly 10 years at Place New Farm. She was Queensland's #1 agent. I'm still in contact with her now. I was texting her only a few days ago. An incredible woman. And I just had some very fortunate opportunities. But then the airline world, travel, customer service, it all sort of, I suppose, just merges into what we do, which is just basically we look after people. Our business is people. The homes are the commodity. So the commodity is what we sell, but the experience we give them and the way we leave them feeling, you hear this cliche, it's not what you say, it's the way you leave people feeling, but it is just so true. Nearly 18 years in the industry now, I've got a lot of clients coming back, and I saw their kids at 2, and now their kids are 18, and that's all really cool. But the whole service experience really needs to be working out who you are and who you want to be seen as in the industry. We're also very similar. We have branded everything. We'll put a tattoo on you if you stand still enough. But we also try to keep a brand balance because we are targeting other properties where there's certain higher price points and varying properties. So we try to be a bit of a jack of all trades, not try and spread ourselves too thinly, but we really target the professional family market. We are a family, we've got dogs as well. And I'm one of 6 kids, Mark's one of 5 kids. We get family values. And all of those things are things that we relay to our clients. And the service experience has got to be #1. Be yourself, be authentic, have a good laugh. I mean, I just have such a good laugh with people because people are stressed to their eyeballs. If you can just break it down with a random joke, it's going to help. But I think overall, you've got to be genuinely wanting to give the service. If you think you like doing it and you think you like real estate and you think all these things, it's awesome, but do you genuinely love walking to a client, giving them keys? I think people feel that. And I think through COVID, people's BS detectors are off the Richter scale now. So, I think really being authentic, being yourself, picking your lane of what you want to do. Our lane is professional families. And then everything hopefully will be built around that with your brand.
Yeah.
100%, I love that.
And I remember having a coaching session with you and you were talking about those non-negotiables. How do you set those non-negotiables with your team? What are the logistics?
Good question. We actually set them with clients as well. I think it's very important to set, I know the other gentleman this morning, look, I'm a little bit different. We're available on WhatsApp. I was a very early adopter of WhatsApp. My colleagues at Place New Farm were like, what are you doing that for? And we had WhatsApp desktop and everything. But we use a lot of voice recorded messages. I record a lot of messages. I want both the sellers to get the same message, not husband to dilute to wife or wife to dilute to husband. So I think, sorry, to answer your question, would be more so setting up the boundaries with our team, but setting up the boundaries with our clients first. What do we need from you to make this campaign? We do a set to sell or campaign strategy meeting, but we do quite comprehensive introductory emails, WhatsApp message, all the telephone numbers go in, all the team introduce themselves once the WhatsApp welcome messages got in, so everybody knows. We ask them to save the mobile phone numbers to their phone. We are a non-text message business. We don't use text message at all because we want the channel to be used only, and that is all communication in the one channel. So the non-negotiables, how we set them up, I suppose, is setting up the parameters with clients very clearly. With the set to sell, it's a non-negotiable meeting that I say to them, look, we need ground rules. We need to understand what your expectations are, and we know everybody is different. So this is not a cookie cutter business. Every client is different. If you're doing it with a high court judge or a tradie who's a concreter, your language might change, your behaviour might change, but also their needs, their schedules. We have a lot of surgeons, we have a lot of medical people that can't, they can't take phone calls. But we also find that we just try to adapt, but set up the parameters with clients. And our team know what my standards are. And I'm not afraid to be proud of what they are. It's my name and reputation and license, but we are one team. I always promote the team first. I talk about our team, not me, me, me. It's just about our team does this is what we do, and I think that's a big part of it as well. But I think setting up ground rules with your clients is incredibly important, because when you do sit down with them, you get a bit surprised with things that they've been thinking about or what's on their mind. But we also set out the process of what's going to happen. For example, I say to my clients, look, please don't be offended by what I'm about to say.
Critical conversations.
And I say, please. But on Mondays are not for sellers. Mondays are for buyers. Mondays, you are unlikely to hear from me or the team until Monday evening, because you think about it. Our clients who have seen your home on the weekend, they are unlikely to answer a telephone call from 7 agents who are calling them on a Saturday afternoon. We do have first round callbacks on Saturday afternoons as well, very important. But we let them know that we're probably not going to speak with them at all on a Monday until Monday night. But Tristan from the team will be in contact on Monday morning. He's going to reconfirm the open homes and blah, 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 and all the things that we will do to set up your week. But I think just simple things like that, giving them a clear understanding of what to expect in the process, is probably going to help everyone. I think a lot of people here are probably already doing it, but I really do think that that's a game changer.
Yeah, and it takes away the guilt as well for not calling them on a Monday, because you don't, and you focus on your high priority work. Awesome.
Well, if you're a little bit slow into the office on a Monday, it's good as well. So. No, I'm joking. But I think that sort of thing, doing a campaign strategy meeting or seller strategy meeting or set to sell meeting, whatever you choose to call it, that should be a non-negotiable if you're not doing it now. Yeah. We go through everything from what's going to happen before and after the open homes, to revising the contract, to security, put your rings away, we can't insure your jewellery, please don't leave any keys in the back of any doors, in top drawers, in the kids' bedrooms, get the kids to put everything away. I've never had anything taken from a home, but we really go down to the nitty-gritty of everything, everything of what's going to help them in their campaign.
Love it, process.
I love that channel for communication. I think that's brilliant. We use with the corporate team Slack. It's a system that we use, and we communicate throughout the day, and I think it's the best thing ever. So you've got a separate channel for every single one of your vendors, and everyone's in it. And as you said, the message does get diluted, so it's good too. So that's one of your 1%. What are some others? So we can keep going with... You've got your notes there? I've got them here too.
Look, it's a bit of a momentous day for us as well, because we moved into our first new office yesterday, and the branding went up yesterday. We've been renovating, commercial lease negotiating, everything going on. So I wasn't really overly prepared until the flight coming down yesterday. I'm being really honest. I'm being really honest, and I've got to wear glasses too.
But it's things that you do day to day, yeah? It's...
Look, I think... it's the other things I think that we do, which probably everybody does as well, is just making sure the clients have everything that they need. We have a very comprehensive trades list. The trades list goes to the client straight away. We have a very comprehensive compliance checklist. Our open home process is polished. I believe, maybe this is from working on board an aircraft, but I believe that you don't ask for anything until you give something first. So we have chilled water at the front door of every open home. A bottle of cold water is offered before Nathan actually, or Mark or Tristan greets people at the open homes. We have a common service language. Maybe I did rip this off a bit from McGrath, because John McGrath is off the charts. I did 4 months of mentoring with John McGrath in Sydney, and I know what he is like firsthand. But thank you for calling Garry Jones Homes. This is Nathan. Everybody answers the telephone the same way every time. Welcome to 18 Ilford Street. My name is Nathan. I'm here assisting Garry. Can I offer you some water, please? And then secondly, would you mind if I take your mobile number first? We don't ask for their name first because we search them in Rex by mobile number. And we've only just started getting postcodes. It's a non-negotiable as well. We need postcodes on everyone. So Rex brought that field in. We use Rex, Bolt, Hurry.
You need to go to Bolt. I'll work on you.
But I think having service language, understanding in the business what your business is, if it's cheeky and playful, if you're in a higher end, whatever your market is. But I think having a service language is important, because the team comes across as one team, because they kind of you got your personality, but you sort of, you deliver a consistent service level, and that's a non-negotiable.
Love it. That's fantastic. And we'll come back to your team roles a little bit later, but over to Charlotte. No,
No, it's good when you're in a role. Charlotte, obviously, your title that we've put
Playing
everywhere
big
is
in a small
playing
town.
big in a small town. So tell us a little bit about that. Obviously, you mentioned at the beginning you arrived and you didn't know anyone. You worked a little bit for someone else, and then obviously made the decision to go out on your own. How did you get to meet the whole town? What did you do? What is, you're big on networking. Take us through the journey of everything that you do to connect with your community and therefore have the results that you have today in such a small amount of time.
I think it's relevant even for a small town or whatever marketplace you're in, which a big ethos in Swan Hill specifically is support local. And it's very simple, it's very easy to understand, and there's a slogan that's constantly played on our local radio station, which I've memorised it because of the amount of times that it plays, and it says, support local, give back to the people that support you, keeping money in the town that supports you so the region can thrive and grow. And that's pretty much what I did. You know, I didn't really know anyone. I did tap in a lot to my husband having grown up in Swan Hill. He did his education in Swan Hill. His family is quite prominent there. But it's really important to know the market you're in. Like in Swan Hill, it's very football and netball driven. So on a Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock, all the shops close. Like there is nothing open. Sundays, nothing is open because everyone is at football and netball. So I know now, don't book open for inspections at 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon because no one is going to come through. So yeah, I think it's really important to know your market and also who you're targeting. I'm sponsoring, you know, local sporting teams, local events. I think I sponsor the local bowls club or something. Never been there. Don't have any intention on playing lawn bowls anytime soon. But I think it's important when you're cracking into a new marketplace that people know who you are, but they also know that you're willing to support them and put your own time and money into maximising and enhancing, you know, what they're a part of too.
Yeah. Can I firstly say congratulations on living to your values, for making that shift. And I think it's so important that we understand that you've got to be congruent with your values. And I had goosebumps when Charlotte said I had to move. It wasn't conducive to, obviously, my ethos. Clients come first. So tell us about your first sale. Because it all, yeah, go.
So when I decided to bite the bullet, I had one client that was a close family friend of ours that I knew was, I guess, in the market and looking to sell. They had sold 3 properties prior to then privately, which does happen quite a lot being the small town it is. People know, you know, someone finds out that so-and-so is selling, so they contact them directly. There's no need for an agent necessarily. So even though they were family friends of ours, it did not make, I feel like it probably made it more difficult. But it took me about 3 weeks to convince them, you know, why don't we just put a board up, we'll put it on realestate.com, you know, at least you know that your biggest asset, we've given it every opportunity to get the best possible result.
Did you use the line, we'll put it on the biggest database of buyers in Australia?
No, I didn't know that.
Another one for you guys.
But thank you, I know that now. And that was a really good opportunity for the town to see the brand, which was the first sale board that popped up, first listing on realestate.com. At the time, because of COVID, we could only do private inspections. So I had, I think, 8 inspections booked in for that afternoon. The property went to market at $750,000, which, as you can see from our average sale price, that is quite high end for Swan Hill, which thankfully the way that I wanted the brand to be represented to the market was high end. So thankfully, my first sale did obviously reflect that really well. That afternoon, we had multiple offers on the property, and that afternoon I went to see the owners and I said, I just want to have a sit down with you. We've had a lot of interest in the property. And they said to me, because we'd only been on the market for 3 days then, they said, do you think we should just wait, a few weeks just to see, what else we get? I'm like, no, I do not. So I sat there and I went through every single offer. I said, we've got an offer at $750,000. They're like, fantastic. And that was an offer that they'd actually received off market for someone that had come back through. Then 20 minutes down the track, I'm still telling them the offers that have come through. The last and final offer was $900,000, which was $150,000 over the offer that they got off market. When you're looking at figures like that, $150,000 changes someone's life. And it's enabled them to do a lot more, which has always been my why, is to, I wasn't out to make any extra money. Like if you looked at the sums of what commission I'd make at $750,000 versus $900,000, it was very marginal. But the $150,000 made a huge difference to them. I think that just, got me a sale, which was good in a new town. But I think the client experience was definitely the biggest one, which in a small town, people like to tell everyone about good and bad experiences, and thankfully these owners had a very good one. Everything just kind of flowed in from that.
Love it. Well done. Well done. Huge. Okay, moving over to your team. You've grown. Tell me about your team, how the logistics happen.
So I was about 18 months on my own. So I didn't go out and sign up a commercial lease. I'd had literally no money to do so anyway. So I set up, my husband's a carpenter, so we converted one of our bedrooms at home into the Broad Realty HQ. So it just had this desk, a chair, and my computer. 3 months after starting the business, I started getting heaps of inquiry for rentals, which thankfully my lovely mother is a property manager, so I could lean on her a lot. I had no intention of starting property management at all, because I know it comes definitely with its own complexities. But I was starting to get so many inquiries, so kind of just had to call Manos. I'm like, what do I do? How do I open a trust account? Like, what system should I use? So I think it's so important when you're starting out is to have those people around you that you can call. Because, it took me 4 hours to drive here. I'm in Little Swan Hill. I'm like, someone help me. Like I'm all on my own out here. But being
at least you knew what a trust account was. That's really good.
So I was 18 months on my own. By that point, I had 50 managements under our rental belt as well, which I was managing myself. So I take my hat off to all the property managers in the room, because it is a hard slog. And I think because of that, now that I do have 2 full-time property managers, I can empathise with their role because I have done it as well. So now I have 2 full-time property managers. We've moved into a beautiful office, which is very exciting. And it was all very timely. Like the business got to a point where I could afford to sign on a lease. I didn't want to, get too big too quickly, and then I couldn't keep up with the success of the business. But it's just organically grown, so much so that my husband has actually come on board 2 days a week.
Sounds familiar.
And he is one of those people that does not like real estate. He does not like real estate agents. But he saw, which is funny, because he's going to be one of them, But he just...
I love your certainty. It's like, he's going to...
Look who's talking.
So yeah, he gave up his full-time role as a fully qualified carpenter and comes on board and literally sits at our reception and answers phone calls.
If you're watching, you're a legend.
Which I think, at the end of the day, your support network is so, so important. Like, you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. And yes, I'm the one up here speaking, but it's only possible by the people that are around me and support me.
Yeah.
Well said.
Really
Well said. And I just wanted to add quickly, just a quick fact, it's that you're actually in the office where you started. That business left, and now you're in that office, the one that you left. So that's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's amazing how things work out sometimes. Yeah. But on to Garry. We would love to know about your team, how you're structured. You've got some exciting news as well, going into a brand new office. So tell us about all of that.
It's the last few weeks has just been a whirlwind, really. We started off with another company when we went self-branded. We live in a Queenslander in Gordon Park in the inner north of Brizzy, and we renovated downstairs to make it a bit more of a workable space where we had initially a lady with me. COVID just hit and I was absolutely panicking because I'd just left Place Estate Agents and a big franchise and thought, what have I done? This is a big mistake. Anyway, Mark's wings got clipped with Virgin, so he came on board and started working. Mark had a period of time with me at McGrath as well, but pursued a career in aviation because he got sick of hearing all my flying stories. And so Mark jumped on board. So we have gone through an evolution of building the model, and we're at a really exciting point now. So I operate, and you're helping me, of course, Manos, with the Director EBU, which is what we're looking at building. So I'm the lead agent salesperson. We've recently had a son of a very good ex-flight attendant, now real estate friends. Nathan joined the team. He's pretty green, but he's a great guy, has the enthusiasm, and he's going to go great places. He's our sales associate, really sort of probably in a sort of an apprenticeship role, shall we say. Mark's role has changed as we've recently had Tristan join the team. Tristan is our team manager. I just really like our clients to have a go-to person when I'm not available, and the go-to person is Tristan. He's our team manager. He is the onboarding, sort of overseeing onboarding every step of the process. So Tristan, myself, and of course now Mark's become a bit more of a jack of all trades. So he's a sort of high level sort of finance and things to do, but Mark steps in where we need, particularly to do a training our team. We've recently, she'll be starting in 2 weeks. Amanda is joining as my buyer manager, and she'll be a full-fledged agent beside me as a full-fledged buyer manager only. She doesn't want to be a lead agent, and she's just a wonderful lady, similar age group to me. She's worked in other agencies, and she's got a really interesting background, a very, very elegant lady, and she's going to be really wonderful that the team. She'll be looking after our buyers specifically.
Are you open to sharing the strategy that you shared with me earlier in regards to the buyer management strategy?
Okay, yes. Well, agents teach agents.
Agents.
And and I listened to Sarah Hackett. She was my first principal in Brisbane. She was Sarah Bushell at that time, not married to Damien, now the owners of Place Estate Agents. And I follow Sarah a lot. She's now the #1 agent in Queensland. She's a great person, heaps of fun, and an extremely sharp businesswoman. And I listened to her podcast and I thought, right, I'm doing that. My biggest problem that I have is just feeling like I just can't keep up with everything. So having a fully fledged buyer manager is going to be a game changer, I believe, in our marketplace. And also the male-female team at the listing table, I believe is extremely powerful because I've been at the listing table as male-female teams at varying stages through my career. I did sort of rip off Sarah's idea of having a buyer manager, and Amanda will be coming to every listing appointment. Her job will be solely, she's a mum, she's in the area. She'll be really managing our buyers, and all the vendor management will always be with me. And of course, negotiations is definitely me. The clients are investing in that, in our commission, and our performance fee, I should say, we call it. And we've also got a part-time administrator coming on board to help Tristan. But we're going through a massive evolution right now. Tristan in the back of the room over here is doing. I went to a Steps conference recently. We're just about to clean up 25,000 contacts in the database.
Love it.
Clean out the dirty fridge. And it's a dirty fridge. There's a lot of stuff in there, and I'm not sure how much time we've got.
All good.
As far as props has been a big game changer for us. If you're not using props, definitely start using it. We actually call it our buyer hub. So we don't sort of use the tech words. We just say it's a buyer hub. When you come to our properties, the register button online. And we have the QR code. I hold the QR code at the open homes because I want to monitor who is actually registering for props. So because Nathan and I do a cross-check, because at the end of the open home, we send a screenshot, which is the summary from Rex, of the open home attendees, neutral, cold, warm, hot.
See, Bolt would have just sent it to them, but that's all right. That's okay.
We were getting confused on who had registered and who's not, and who's warm and who's not. So we actually just send that sort of thing. So, the team is in a growth phase. The business, we're just gone into a commercial building, which is a bloody big step for us.
And I know we're almost out of time, but there's two important points, if you don't mind me sharing with the team. In your buyer work, are you pre-framing, now that you're having your buyer's agent, at the listing phone call appointment? Just say, by the way, Mrs. Vendor, I'll be bringing my buyer's agent who will be with me at the meeting. They're going to stay with us for the first 10, 15 minutes or the whole presentation, just to cross-reference our buyers. That's a new strategy a lot of agents are using. Jason Sterling, where are you? Way down there, 6 on the trot when you implemented that strategy, where your buyer's agent came in for the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, only stayed for 10 minutes, except when Ben started talking a lot. But that's okay. From a run of losing some listings, ended up winning 6 straight. Great. So are you going to be using that strategy?
Definitely. We've been talking about our email, confirmation email. Just side note, very quickly, we're selling a property that we bought, and we interviewed 3 agents.
Love it.
Yes. And our property went on the market last week. It's an investment property. It was a bit of an Airbnb fatality. Didn't go so well, but we're going to sell it because we can't afford to keep it. And I interviewed 3 agents. Mark and I interviewed 3 agents, and I won't mention the agents' names. That'd be unfair. 2 very prominent agents and a very local agent. And the interesting thing that I noticed out of all the agents, particularly the big agents that sell, we're talking properties that sell 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 million on the GC, no confirmation email of the appointment, no phone call the day before from a team manager confirming the appointment for the next day and does the time still suit them. I was really surprised. And I thought, we do not a bad job. But that's a side of it. To answer your question is, I think having the buyer's agent, we're doing the intro email. I think we'll have Amanda's profile in there. I'm probably yet to work out how we do that, but I have done that previously when I've taken, we used to have buyer specialists and co-agents at place that were provided by the company, part of our commission structure and blah, blah. But I always used to take them in and I'd always introduce them. The one thing that I would say be very careful of if you're taking a second person is don't let the meeting split. I'd always be very conscious of making sure that one person doesn't go off with the wife and the husband. When you're touring the home and conversations and things like that, that's one thing I've been very mindful of. You've got to keep the conversation together. So, but yes, I think we will.
Yeah. And the last one, awesome. The last one, which I really wanted the team to listen to, is your pre-final inspection. When I heard that, I went to myself, you're always learning. Right?
So if you're not already doing them, I'm sure you may do them, which is a pre-settlement inspection. I attend all pre-settlement inspections. It's a non-negotiable. Because on the day of settlement, firstly, you might be in a meeting, at a listing appointment, stuff's going down. So I want to be able to say congratulations, because I think what happens is people can come to the office, pick up the keys, they don't even see you. You might ring them a few hours later because you got notice you're stressing out because you see a text message come from PEXA or whatever. So I attend the pre-settlement
So
inspections.
it's a pre-pre?
But the pre-settlement inspection is Mark or Nathan go to the property. I do not want to be embarrassed when I get to the pre-settlement. I really find it really uncomfortable. We're selling a $2 million home or an $800,000 home. It doesn't matter the price point, but everything should be in working order. There should be keys for every door. And if there's not things available, that you've let the buyers know, because you've just got to make sure you're handing over professionally. Has the lawns been mowed? Has the property been cleaned? Does it smell right? Do you need to get there early to open up all the windows? Like, everything has to be perfect. But the team go and change the remotes, batteries on air conditioning remotes. They check that everything is working. I just want to make sure that I rock up and everything's in working order. So they do a pre-settlement.
I think next time we're going to have Mark up on stage to talk about the pre-settlement strategy.
Yeah, much to his
I think that's
Just
brilliant.
phenomenal attention to detail.
Yes.
That's what that shows me. That's amazing, and that's all your little 1%.
It's the little 1%ers, but I just think that you just want the settlement to go well. You've worked so bloody hard for people, and nothing worse than just that last part. Oh, the house isn't clean, or this hasn't been done, and then everything, all your hard work goes right out the door. Yeah. And so it's important to hand over professionally.
So what's next for you guys? I know we've got an hour for lunch, so we can go into lunch a little bit.
Is that okay, guys? Everyone,
that all
yeah,
right?
everyone's good?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's next? I want to know what's next. Let's start with you, Charlotte.
I think just keep doing what we're doing. Like, the business has grown a lot quicker than I probably ever anticipated or expected. I'm very conscious about the team members that I bring on, that they align with the same values that I have for client interactions. And I want my staff to love what they do, enjoy coming to work, and be rewarded for that. Like my property manager, her and her husband have just bought a home. So that's super exciting, and it's nice to be a part of those things, not just from a work perspective, but also from a personal perspective. My receptionist just finished her agents rep course. She's 20, so we all went out for lunch and celebrated that. So it's just those things that it's more than just coming to work and leaving. Like, I want to create an environment like I had at the Mornington office when I worked there, that everyone gets along, everyone loves what they do, and as the business grows, I'd love to bring on more staff that have the same values. But no specific plans in the pipeline. Just keep doing what we're doing.
Love it. Well done. Thank you.
After 18 years in the industry now, I really want to give it a really good push. I'm 52 years old, and I do...
Target 3 million.
52.
Directors EBU.
Yeah, well, I'm actually 13. I'm born on the leap year. Just turned 13. But we really want to go from 47 to 100 transactions. So our goal is to get to 100 transactions per year. The money is the money, but to ensure that we get to 100 transactions and we don't waver on the service delivery we offer and the relationships we want to continue to build. And I think the big thing is, like, we do get a real kick out of the relationships we have from people. There have been, auctions that we may or may not have left their houses at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night with all of the neighbours drinking champagne all afternoon and rolling down the street and leaving the car and picking up the next day. But we just want to grow, of course, get this office renovated. A reception desk will be really good. Getting the office set up, but also from a professional level with the team, is we're just recalibrating. We had a change of staff a few months ago. Sean went off to do something with another agency, and Lisa wanted to downgrade her role with with family. So we've been through a big change of staff in the last few months. On top of Mark and I, in January and February, I did my 2 biggest months, and that was just Mark and I alone. Doing it. So it was pretty full on.
Huge.
Marriage is the priority too, clearly, and getting some balance. Like we like the ladies, we are big travellers. It's 4 times a year. It's just non-negotiable. We work our butts off. And sorry to the families in the room, but no private school fees. So we like to do 2 big trips and 2 small trips. So but look, I think it's just getting the office is the big part right now, and getting to 100 would be awesome, but not diluting what we do in the process. And also, we don't want fatalities of staff. We'd like to help our staff grow and feel comfortable and longevity and all of the things that, as a business owner, I think all of us really love to hope to aspire for.
Amazing. So many great takeaways.
Well
Team, let's give it up for the guys. Thank you so much.
Congratulations to you.
And looking forward to seeing the journey ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us on the couch.
Yes, on the couch. Oh, is it going? Pick your colour. Yeah. So, pick your colour. Is it
This was
peanuts?
metal
Is it milk chocolate? Is it crispy?
Oh, it's always crispy.
Well, you got to get the crispy one.
I'll get peanuts.
Peanuts. There you go.
All right, give them another round of applause, guys. Thank you.
Later.